All right, guys, we're going to do November team meeting. Oh, here, of course, the minute I do that, then people start coming in. So here comes Betsy. All right, so how is everybody doing? How did everybody feel like their October went? So you guys can come off of mute and share.
Well, I'm trying to get back in it again, so I'm gonna try really hard this month to get something. October was horrible for me.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time getting people that want to have a party, so
Mhm. Patty had a good month. She qualified, she recruited, she earned, I'm trying to think, you got all the way to your qualified one, right? Yeah, your qualified level. So she got the heart and she got the charcuterie board and she got the electric twist in shop. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Is Hannah jumping on tonight? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard from her.
Okay. Her daughter Hannah joined her team. So we're going to try getting Hannah going right away on tables. So say a little prayer for me because we're going to try to help her go for that. Most of her friends, Hannah's what is Hannah like mid 20s?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she's like her mid 20s, so not really a Facebook user. So most
Hmm.
of her friends are more on like Instagram and stuff like that. So we thought let's start there and see what happens. We'll give it a good whirl and see how it goes. So,
Hmm.
Laura, how about you? How did October go?
It was good. I mean, I wish I had a better month, but it was decent.
Okay.
Got
How
a
are
lot
you?
of books which are all over the place, but
That's
at least
okay
it's
though. There's still bookings. And
yeah.
that's, you know, you can always, check back in with them if it's like farther out and say, hey, did you see this special? Maybe you want to bump your party up, you
Oh,
know?
that's yeah.
hmm Becky or Betsy, how about you guys? How did October go for you?
non-existent.
Okay, Beck. I'm glad to see you on the meeting. That's awesome. How about you, Betsy? Did you end up getting your fundraiser closed for the hurricane stuff? Oh, no, she's coming in. Maybe she was having issues. She must be, yep, she's coming in again. Okay. Bets, I was just asking, how did everything go for your October? How did your fundraiser go? Did you get that closed and stuff?
I did. I think I got about 150
In sales or for the check?
for the check.
Oh, that's good. I think that's
Yeah, so
great. Yep.
wasn't bad for my first time.
No. Anybody else have a fundraiser going that, because those need to be closed by tomorrow, just so you know, for them to do the double donation. So if anybody has one of those on there, it has to be closed by tomorrow. Okay. So good. I'm glad you got that closed. That's good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start talking about some stuff for November. So we know that we right now that we have a lot of stuff to offer our hosts and our customers with the sales and with our amazing November host special. Everybody understand how the special works for November? It's any item in the catalog at 60% off, including sets. And if you get to 650, you get two items or sets at 60% off. So make sure that when you're marketing it to people, you want to say with the past, that you can get up to two items at 60% off. So don't necessarily guarantee somebody um that they're going to get two, but hopefully they will because this is a great time of year. People are shopping for the holidays and everything like that. So we really need to make sure that we're making the most of like having a strong schedule right now. Um, you know, our parties are where we're going to get the most bookings. That's where we're ideally going to get our bookings from. It's definitely easier to book through a party than it is to try to do cold, you know, reach out calls to people. So, it's, you know, we know how important it is to kind of maintain a consistent schedule as much as you can. So setting goals and knowing how many parties you want and really striving for those is important. And it's very important at this time of year to lead us into the new year. And we kind of talk about this. Well, I shouldn't say kind of. We do talk about this when we're in the spring months too, going into the summer, that we want to make sure that we have a good June, July, and August, because that's going to set us up for a good September coming in. So if you guys, I know some of you are newer, but if you look back at what your summer was like, is your summer now reflecting
On the floor.
your fall?
Look at her look.
Think about that like that. Like, how did you do over the summer? And are you seeing, we always say, what you do today is going to affect your business 90 days from now. And that is really so true. So if you kind of look back and see what kind of a summer you had, it may be a good indicator to where the reason that you might be in the situation you are in right now. So that's always good to kind of go back and look at that stuff. And it really is, you know, it really is true. So this is, like I said, the same. This is what's going to set us up for our January. So what can November, holding parties in November and December, what can that do for us? What does that help us with when we have November and December parties? Oh, I got somebody's okay here. Another person's coming in. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
The free-for-all products?
Yes. Huge. And we've got 2 months of those. And I'm going to show you a little graphic in a few minutes on that, on what it can really do as far as your commission goes. Anything else? And Patty and Kim, since you're a little bit newer, free for all is 2 months, November and December. You can look at it right on Consultants Corner. They have info on that. And it's an earning time that based on your sales, there's different levels we can earn, but it's new products for the new catalog that will come out in March. So this is our opportunity to earn things for free. At Pampered Chef, you never have to pay for new products at full price. You always have the opportunity to earn them or get them at 50% off. So that's a huge perk. So always, you know, trying to, usually it's May and June, usually, isn't it? Yeah, May and June. It is for the September products one, because we always have September 1st and March 1st are our catalogs. So we've got Patty's a new consultant on the team, so she would be somebody that is still in her success rewards earning period right now. So there's still some things that she can maximize on that. And we'll be helping her new recruit, Hannah, work on some of those rewards too. What other things that do we have that are kind of like finalizing for the end of the year? What's finalizing in December?
Trip.
Our trip. So this can be our another time to kind of boost, see where we're at for trip incentive points and see if it's something that's still doable. I know a couple of years ago, Sarah really wanted to earn a certain level on one of her trips, and she was determined that she was going to get the elite level by the end of December. And you did everything that you could in your power, Sarah, and you did it, didn't you? Actually, didn't you do that 2 years in a row?
No, I did that for the elite. Last year I did something at the very end to
That
maybe
was
it
for
was
your
career sales.
career sales. Yep, I think that's what it was. Yeah, so there's always those different little things that can kind of give us a reason to push a little bit harder. We're also like mid-year for excellence awards. Our excellence awards period goes June 1st through May 31st, and that's where you can earn like top 1% of the company in sales, in recruits, and then there's other levels based on like team um, status and stuff like that as well. So this is something too, if you've never taken a peek at your Excellence Awards tracker, go under your business, so my business, and then I believe it's rewards and recognition, I think is the name of the tab now, and Excellence Award is under there. So if you're not real familiar with that, go in and take a peek at that. And then our trip incentives are always January 1st through December 31st. So we always have kind of two different cycles we're working on for that. So and then the other one too, these other couple of things that are super important this time of year is obviously we're going to get extra income that might help you with additional expenses that you might incur during the holidays. We know, everything is expensive right now, and then it's, the prices are always up at this time of year too. And then two, when we push hard to have a lot of sales on our calendar at this time of year, it's going to just put us in front of that many more people that are going to help us get sales and keep, and get those bookings on our calendar moving forward into January. So I'm going to have you guys take out your handout. Okay. So this is something we get this most years, and I've been doing it the last couple years, and it's helpful to kind of just take a peek at, kind of just give yourself a little check on where you want to be for where you want to land for the rest of the year. So, the first thing I'm going to have you guys do if you're looking at this, and I don't know, did anybody start filling it out before if they had an opportunity to today? Okay. So, I did a little bit of mine today. So the first thing you're going to do, is you're going to write down what sales goal you want to try to achieve for November, December, and January. And if you don't quite know what you want, even maybe for December and January yet, that's okay. But let's at least come up with a number to put down at least for November. And then, over the next couple of days, if you need to work on December and January, do that. We had quite a few bookings that came from the 44th anniversary challenge we were doing last month. I think it was 70. And who knows, there may have been people that got bookings and didn't put them in the actual challenge tracker. So I'm hoping that we're seeing, that you're going to be able to fill in several names. And I mean, I know it's got 16 spots there, and I know that that might not be everybody's goal, but the one thing that I definitely want you to think about is I want you to think about having like a cushion. So sometimes parties are flops, right? We're not guaranteed how any party's going to turn out. So we always want to make sure that we have a few extra parties to give us a little bit of cushion in case we have some that aren't, as high of sales as others. So once you kind of have your goal down there, be sure that your goals are what you need to achieve what you want for your income. That's most of us have kind of like a dollar amount in mind on what we want to make every year, or not every year, every month. So sometimes that's the easier way to go, is to kind of put a dollar amount on it. So then what you're going to do is you're going to calculate how many parties you need by dividing your sales goal by your party average. Did you find your party average today? That was something else that I asked you to do. And like Kim, I know you didn't realize you were supposed to print something. So this is just something that you can do. You're going to go into Consultant Connection. You're going to click on Performance Details, not Performance Tracker. That's at the top. You're going to click on Performance Details. That's closer to the bottom of the page on the left side. And then when you get into that, it's all your stats for the month that Performance Details is. On the far right side, you're going to say you're at like for the year, where you're at for the year. And then I would just pick, most of us are doing virtual parties anyway. So pick the one that's for the catalog parties because that's going to be where your virtual ones are going to show up. And so there's your average of where you're at right now. And then you can divide it by your sales goal. And then you can get about how many parties you should have on your calendar for this month then, or December and January moving forward. Did everybody see that they did put the January special in Consultants Corner too? So we do know that. And there is an extra little bonus for January as well of the heart-shaped stone hosts can earn if they host between the 1st and the 15th of the month. So that's another thing that's always a good thing is to try to book your calendar in early. But we want to make sure before we're starting to put January parties on our schedule, we want to make sure that our November is where we want it to be. Then we work on December, then we work on January. I mean, if somebody's not going to budge, you're still writing their name down in your calendar, right? Laura just had that. You said that yours were kind of all over the place. Some of your bookings were, Laura?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute you.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
they're like November is decent. December's got one, and then that's all into the first of the year.
Well, that's fantastic. You've got a head start on January, which is great. There is one thing I'm hoping that they're going to still do it. I didn't actually even look because it just popped into my head right now as we were talking about it. One thing is if you do have January calendar or January dates on your calendar, they usually in marketing imagery post 3 different letters. They're called like the January letters. And it's like a series of letters that you can either message to somebody or you can actually print them and mail them to somebody. Kind of keeps them reminded that they're on your calendar. They have a little recipe included, and it's just kind of like that little bit of assurance that you're not going to have those parties cancel. And those I think work really well if you do hand those out. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't looked. If somebody, I don't know, Sarah, if you want to look, I don't know. Otherwise, I'll look when I get done tonight. I think if you just typed in letters, I'm going to write that down in case we don't get to it, but hopefully they're going to be in there too. So Laura, that might be something since you already have those booked. I don't want you to lose those bookings by people getting just overwhelmed with the holidays and then canceling on you. So if you can keep it like in front of their face that they're having a party. And when I was in the cooking show era, I would actually, a lot of my January hosts, especially if they were right at the beginning of the month, I would ask them, would you like your catalogs? If you're going to give out catalogs to somebody, would you like catalogs before you see your family for the holidays? So then maybe they can take a peek at stuff before we have your party in January. Kind of like you can do that this month too. Sarah posted a turkey trot to get some bookings this month. And that's kind of more of like a catalog show kind of thing where you give them an ordering link. You could give them catalogs too if they wanted to, but you can nowadays in the digital world, we can give them a shopping link or a QR code even. And when they see their friends and family at the holidays for Thanksgiving, they can get orders and the orders are due by, a certain date after Thanksgiving. And that can maybe ensure you a few bookings instead of actually having like like an online virtual party. They might just want to go kind of old school with it and just pass out a link or pass catalogs around. Okay. So how did everybody do? Did you get kind of how many shows you need? Was it surprising to you, like when you take your show average by the dollar amount? Surprising how many that you need to get there? Energy people. I'm just kidding. Or was it like, oh my gosh, I need to have this many parties? Was it kind of a scary number to look at?
I'm still having a hard time finding I know my average because I only had one party.
Right.
But
So you only,
I was
yeah.
trying to find it so I knew where to look for it.
So you're going to click on the main page on Consultants Corner. You're going to go to Consultant Connection, which is kind of towards the bottom.
Okay, maybe I'm not on the main page.
Yeah, you need to be where like your dashboard is, where like your sales are for the month and that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, scroll down kind of like mid page, maybe like almost to like a quarter. You see it? Okay.
Now I'm seeing consultant
Yeah.
connection. I wasn't
And
just wasn't.
Consultant Connection, honestly, is a place that I go to. Probably sometimes I go to it multiple times a day because I'm psycho. But that's something you should probably be looking at on the daily, or at least a couple times a week if you've had parties. So click on there,
Yeah.
and then if you're on that page, then it's kind of like your main page. There's a little calendar on the right side. There should be on the far left, there should say performance details.
Yep.
Okay, so click on that.
Yep.
And then on the far right side, there should be year to date or year
Yeah.
something sales of the year or something, and then it should have your average there. And yours is only going to be a cooking show average, Patty, because we had yours as a cooking show and a virtual party together. So,
Okay.
but yeah. Mhm.
A question about that. Do for the commission, I was trying to see the rhyme or reason to it. Does it always come just the 15th of the month or like a middle of the month?
No, we get paid twice a month based on when your parties are submitted. So anything submitted the 1st through the 15th of the month, you get paid for on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
So if you didn't have anything submitted, you won't get 2 paychecks. The
Right.
7th of the month paycheck is always considered our month end paycheck. So
Okay.
shows submitted the 16th through the last day of the month, or sales, I should say, submitted, then you get paid for on the 7th. And then also in that 7th paycheck, if you hit a different commission rate since the 16th, it's going to give you the additional, because we
Okay.
have a sliding
Yep.
commission rate. So yeah, so that one is always like your month end paycheck. So we'll get that tomorrow. And you can see in that first like rectangle at the top what your commission is. And it only gives you this month and the previous month. So
Okay.
one thing, if you really want to keep good track of how your year went, I would highly suggest putting a little note or a reminder in your phone, like on the 1st of the month or the 5th of the month, something like that, to go in and print those performance details. You can just hit a Control P from that screen that you're on right there, and it'll print out that.
Okay.
Because there's really not another place that you can see like an average on like a monthly basis. Like you can go at the end of the year and get it, and go by for the whole year, but it obviously changes from month to month. And the other thing that's good to kind of keep track of is how many orders you've got coming in, because you can like shoot for trying to have a higher, order number in your show. That can make a huge difference if you have 4 more orders on every party, if that's something you shoot for.
Yeah.
So yeah, so printing that every month is kind of a nice thing. I usually print it and I have like a little binder I keep it in for the whole year, and then I can go back and look at it. So I didn't start doing that up until a few years ago. And sometimes now I'm like, I wish I would have had all of that from all the years past. So okay. So now then in that November block, write down the names of the hosts that you have already on your calendar. And you can go ahead, if you have anybody booked in December, or if you have anybody booked in January, fill that in too. So then that might give you a little bit more of like, okay, I only need 3 more parties, or I only need 5 more parties. That sometimes if we have them written down, that helps us kind of not feel so stressed out about it. And make sure that you're writing down too, maybe next to I maybe or flip your page over, and like people maybe that you're having conversations, or if you have another tracking system you're using, make sure that you're taking a peek at it if it's in a different format. But like people that I've had conversations with just in the last few days, I just started writing on the back. Don't mind my mocha that I got from Starbucks, and then hit the door at school and splashed it all down my paper and dropped it on the floor. I was pissed. So I needed that today. So like I said, I have, I just have a little running list of people that I've contacted this month or in the last couple of days. I want to make sure I go back and follow up with them to see if I can put them on the front of this. Okay. All right. So, and then, like I said a little bit ago, make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of a cushion and maybe booking a couple extra parties on top of it. And if you didn't do something last month, like a shared rewards or a hurricane relief, obviously we don't have the hurricane relief um, double donation available right now, but some people do mystery host parties. Some people do shared reward parties at this time of year to give their customers, a discount. So that's something if you're not quite haven't done one of those yet, or if that's like a little bit scary because you haven't ventured into even thinking about that yet, talk to your director and we can kind of help you like with the best way to do that. Because it's a good time of year. I'm probably going to do another one in December. That's what I've usually done the last few years. I did a shared rewards for the 44th anniversary that kind of boosted my sales for October. But I think this will be my third year in December that I'm going to do one, in the beginning of December to kind of help with my sales. So people shop in December. I know some of you guys, this might be your first holiday season with us. November is usually a really good month. December can be a really good month too. If you're doing things like this to kind of keep track and your data is here, so you kind of know what you're doing, December can be a good month. Some people only book parties up until a certain day of the month and then they kind of take a break. But remember, even though you're taking a break and you might only be doing, a few parties at the beginning of December, I'm not saying that you need to work like a dog over Christmas or something because that's my time of year that I kind of do take a little bit of a break, but you still kind of have to work a little bit. Okay. You got to make sure, like I was saying earlier, you got to make sure, especially if you have parties on your calendar for January, you got to keep in contact with those hosts so they don't end up canceling on you. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that, like December parties?
I'm curious about how the shared rewards parties work. I think I get the idea, but
Okay.
it's basically just that you're trying to get sales to a certain level so that people get a certain percentage of discount. Okay.
Right. So shared rewards has to be entered a specific way when you do the party. When you set up the party, it can only last 8 days. So it's really like 7 days and then it submits. Um, and the goal, nobody gets host rewards. It's a shared rewards party. So even if you've got somebody that wants to host a shared rewards party, I personally have never had somebody host. I know Sarah has. I don't know about you, Brandy. Have you ever had anybody host one? One? Okay, yeah. I've always done them. It's always been a thing that I've done. But some people do have a lot of hosts that host them. And one of the things that you can explain it as is it's like giving a friends and family discount. So everybody in the party, regardless if you have a person hosting or not, is going to get the same discount. And that discount is based on like every $100, the discount goes up to $1,000, and then it will hit 25% off at $1,000. And so even if somebody ordered on Monday and you were only at 5%, when that party closes on, Friday, say, if that's the day you're closing it, whatever discount it is that day, even if they had 5% in there, it'll adjust it and it'll submit it. That the orders don't submit until that final day of the party. So it's different than our parties our regular parties that they submit that night.
Yeah.
So they stay open. They can add to their order. They'd have to call you or message you and you can add to their order. But it is like giving, like, I think that's one of the best ways to explain it. It's like sharing like a friends and family discount with people. So that's kind of, a lot of us will bill it as like a customer appreciation, or like the one I did last month, I called it like the 44th anniversary sale. Like I did it like it was like a sale. I have one that I've done it 2 years in a row now that I've done it at my birthday. And so I called it like my birthday bash and just giving people a discount. Sarah or Brandy, because I know you guys have done, did you guys call them any other things or any other suggestions on how to kind of bill them? Were you unmuting, Sarah? What were you doing?
My computer's not working, or maybe it's me.
Oh.
Maybe it's my brain. Um, yeah, that's kind of basically the same I've done. Like I've done like the 44th anniversary. I've done like a summer bash. I've done fall bash. I've done like birthday.
Mhm.
Um,
When you've had people that have wanted to host one, has there been like a reason they decided to go a shared rewards route versus a host rewards route?
so a couple of them have just said that they just have a really stacked kitchen already. They really didn't need much. And so I just said, well, we have a shared rewards type party where you could invite your friends. You could just get the few things you need at a discount, and then they all get a discount too. And I booked them that way. Um, and then there was another one that hosted and wanted to do shared rewards um, for kind of the same reason. She just said, I just would rather all of us get a discount instead of, my friends buying and then I get all the rewards. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
think I've had probably 5 total. So, not a ton.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
had a girl once that was gonna go the shared rewards route because that's exactly her too. She's been hosting with me for years and years and years. And she used to host and then she'd get what she needed and then she was hosting to save for things for her 2 sons. So when they moved out and then now they're on their own. So she was like, oh, gosh, I would really love to have a party because she loves to do cooking shows. She goes, but gosh, I just don't really need much. So we thought about doing shared rewards. Well, then it happened to be August. This was last year. And then she's a breast cancer survivor. So she's like, you know what? So she did it for the Rock County Cancer Coalition. So she ended up doing it that way instead. And I think she ended up with like a $500 donation to them. It was awesome. So she was super happy. So, but maybe next time, if she decides she wants to host again, maybe we'll do shared rewards for that. And I know her group of friends specifically would be very happy if they got a discount. They're
Yes.
that they would be. So yeah, if you can kind of bill it like that. But to give it a try, even though Patty, you're just starting out, and I know a couple of you guys too, I haven't been in business super long, that would be a good month to give it a try. You know, and I would do it like that first week of December. We do have until the 18th of December to guarantee Christmas delivery. Um, and then does anybody remember? Do you guys remember what the Thanksgiving date is offhand? It is under reports, I believe. I think the holiday shipping schedule is under reports. I just don't, I know
I
I
think it was the 17th,
17th. Okay. Who else
I
was?
think.
Yeah, it's close. So that's, sometimes people want to know they want a baster or they want a pie plate and they want to make sure they're going to have it in time for Thanksgiving. So this is probably one of the only times of year that you really want to know the cutoff dates. Sometimes maybe Mother's Day, like make sure you pay attention at like that time of year too. But this one is the more critical, Christmas and maybe Thanksgiving. So, um,
I lied, it's the 19th. I just looked.
okay, 19th. Thank you. I just didn't want to pull it up on my phone quick because I have it saved, but I'll put a graphic of that because I just tagged one either or saved one yesterday or the day before um for the holiday schedule just so you guys have it like at your fingertips if you want to. It's a good thing to post in your VIP pages, stuff like that too. It might, you know, interest somebody to place an order because they need their turkey baster broke last year, or they know they're out of, cinnamon and they're going to be baking some pies and stuff. So it might just give them a reminder. Okay, so let's get back to this here. And then, okay, so the last thing is we do have a recruiting goal on here. And I know, I mean, hearts are looking awesome on the window back there. So I'm really proud of the work that we did, in those 44 days. But moving forward, you know, who do you know that could benefit from this business? Um, is anybody in conversations with people? There might be some people that came up in your brain from last month, or people maybe even last month that you had conversations with, then they just kind of decided not to join. So think of people, think of how many people that you might be interested in trying to get on your team for the next couple of months. I would say, obviously we don't have a recruiting like extra promo this month like we did last month, but success rewards. Patty, have you been pretty happy with success rewards so far, right? I mean, isn't it awesome? One of the girls too that just joined right at the end of October, on my team, Nikki, she sent me a message like on Saturday and she's like, I've gotten a box from Pampered Chef every day this week. This is awesome. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, yep. And if you keep doing as good as you're doing, that's gonna keep happening. So yeah, so it's great to, especially right now too, like Patty was able to use her discount Cupid code for Hannah too. So we get those two different coupon codes. So that was, really cool. So and I don't think anybody else is in their success rewards, but that's an option too. It's something too that you can even talk about when you're in the process of recruiting somebody that, I'm going to get a couple of codes along the way that I could maybe share with, I would love to have my friend work with me. I mean, Patty's going to get to have her daughter be on her team with her now. So how fun is that? So start thinking about that. And I know, it's still scary for people to talk about recruiting, but always remember that it is just a conversation that you're having with somebody. And the biggest tip that I can give you in that department is when somebody asks you a question or you're having that conversation with somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, I have no idea how to answer this. I don't know what to say. I've not been doing this that long myself. So what do I say now? Screenshot it and send it to your director, and we will help you with the words. That's the best way to learn. Think about me back in the dinosaur ages. I've been doing this for so dang long that I used to have to call my director and have her help me with the words. And then I would have to call the person back to talk to them after I had. So, I mean, we have this amazing technology at our fingertips that we can take a quick screenshot. I mean, I had to drive up an hour before my team meeting every month to get training from my director because we didn't have Zoom. We didn't have, I could talk to her on the phone, but I couldn't see the piece of paper that was in front of her unless she faxed it to me and I didn't have a fax machine or if she mailed it to me. So it's crazy. We have a lot of, technology that we can do and we're here for you. That's what we're here to help you with is that kind of stuff. So screenshot and talk about that. So kind of make your little bit of your list. I have a recruiting goal, so I already have some people's names that on my list that ended up not signing up, that we had lots of conversations last month about the 44th anniversary sale, but they did not say no, not ever. So I'm going to keep sharing things with them when I have information. I would probably say that there will be a recruiting promo in December. Typically there is. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I mean, I would say so. And usually there is something good again in January, but we don't, we have no idea. We never know. They don't want us to recruit based on the promo because the kits and success rewards are awesome anyway. All right. So let me see. So how does that feel like after you kind of have a little bit of that down on paper? Does anybody want to share their goal or one of their goals for this month? Be brave and share. Sarah's like, nope.
My goal for this month, this is Laura, is to book December more.
Okay. But do you have your sales goal for November and your party goal?
No, I have not figured that out yet.
Okay. Okay, and that's fine. Um, but no, I mean, I definitely too. I have probably slacked a little bit in the December department the last couple of years. So I want to have a little bit more of a cushion this year. Um, I do have one girl booked that we are going to do a cookie exchange party, which I've done those in the past and they're super fun. So think like festive, think different things, that you can do. I mean, you might have your basic party outline that you're already doing, but you can always throw those holiday, a couple posts a day that are going to give them holiday ideas. So talk to your hosts about things that would be exciting for them. It might even be like appetizers and stuff because then, we're going to have Christmas and then we're going to have New Year's. And then what comes pretty much after that? Super Bowl parties, right? And people are always looking for things to bring to Super Bowl parties. So, you can have your basic party outline, but you can sprinkle those little things in there to make them kind of like a more fun holiday outline. You could do something completely, come up with new content and do it all on holiday stuff. But if you don't want to have to like reinvent the wheel, just do a little bit of sprinkling. That's what we have marketing imagery for. Marketing Kitchen can give you some really good ideas of things to post if you haven't had a chance to play in there yet. I would highly suggest, I'm having better luck playing around in it myself, doing it from my laptop. I feel like when I'm on the app, it's a little bit harder to navigate when I'm looking for content that way. So, they did tell us too that they aren't going to eliminate marketing imagery right away now at the beginning of the year. They are going to wait a little bit because are working on some stuff with it. So, and we did kind of something in a call I was on last week, not because a couple of the people on the call were like upset that they were going to get rid of marketing imagery. And they're like, I can't find things. And we really took our time and really you can find everything that's in marketing imagery on Marketing Kitchen. It's all there. It's just a matter of navigating through the different little side tabs that there are in there and kind of figuring out where everything is. So who's played in marketing imagery? I think Brandy, didn't you guys just do, and Sarah, did you guys just do a little training on marketing imagery with your team? Yeah. Are anybody using it quite frequently?
I use it every day, but the search function is not the best. So I'll try and search something and get 50 posts that have nothing to do with what I'm looking for. And I finally give up because I don't have time to keep scrolling. So that is the only problem I have with it, but I use it every day.
Okay. So what you have to go into to get more, it's on that sidebar. I think it says content or content manager or something.
I go into the content one and
yeah,
but it could just be me not searching for the right terms or whatever.
Well, it's more of like if you want to search a certain item, like you would want to put in cup zester. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I do. And then I get 20 things about recruiting. I mean, literally, I've been having that problem. It happens to me all the time.
Oh, no.
So I don't know if it's just, it could even just be a Samsung issue because that's the kind of phone I have or something. I don't know.
And that's
I've thought about contacting them about it.
Right. And I've heard that they're very helpful. And if you guys have not messed with it enough yet, and I haven't even messed with it, I mean, I've been doing more with it, but still not, I'm sure like the girls that learned it at conference maybe have played with it more. But best thing is doing it from your laptop. I feel like it's so much clearer than like looking at it like scrunched on your phone. I feel like I can navigate it better from my laptop. And does everybody know how to get into Marketing Kitchen? If you're on Consultants Corner on your main dashboard page, there's the little waffle up at the top. I like to always call it a waffle, the little dots. Click on that and Marketing Kitchen is there. Okay. All right. So there was one more thing I wanted to tell you on here, I think. Let's talk a little bit before we get off here tonight about Where is, what is a reason why somebody would want to host in November or December? Let's not go to January yet because we've got to get, November and December filled. And December is 60% off anything in the catalog also. So what reasons why would people want to host this month? Because then sometimes when we think of things, it'll help us make like a list of people to contact. What would be a
We have
reason?
the exclusive set of cookware.
I booked a party yesterday. I sent a message because I saw she was on my thing from last year because I went back and looked at all of my people that hosted in November and December last year and the year before that. So you can go back if you've been in business for a while, you can go back and find out who did that. I sent her a message and just said, hey, really good special again this November. It's been a while, it's been about a year since you hosted. Would you want to? I sent her the picture that had the stainless steel cookware and she goes, I want that cookware. And she booked a party. That was it. That took me like 20 seconds of my time and I had a party in my calendar. You just never know what's going to hit somebody. You know what I mean? So be willing to share that stuff. What else would be a good reason?
Trying to get Christmas presents for free.
Right. I used to do a party with a lady up in Sun Prairie, probably for 5 or 6 years in a row, because all of her daughters just wanted Pampered Chef stuff. She would always have a party at this time of year, and the girls would pick out, that would be their Christmas presents. And so we would do a party, we'd have appetizers, she'd have all of her friends over, and then the girls would pick their Christmas presents. It was awesome. And then they kind of like, okay, after like 5 or 6 years, then they were done doing it. So we haven't done one for a while, but it was fun. She had a fun kitchen. She had one of those kitchens that had the big island, but then she had her KitchenAid stand mixer. You could open the door, press it, and it would like come up and your KitchenAid would be there. Oh, can only dream. I would love that someday. That would be awesome. Anybody else? About the Black Friday sales, which we might be getting more things popping up throughout the month. So keep an eye out for that. They definitely for sure will be announcing something specific for Black Friday and something specific for Cyber Monday. So kind of keep those. And so, kind of like keep, watch out for those. They'll be sharing them. I would think that, let me see. Let me look here. I would say, I bet we know by the 18th or like the 15th about some of that other stuff, I would say. So those sales though, have you been, posting about those in your VIP page? Maybe even, say like, for instance, like the ice cream makers on sale. Post a video in your VIP page from Marketing Imagery using the ice cream maker. I've had 2 people, I think it was two, I think it is, that have bought the ice cream maker already this month because it was on sale. And that was just one of those ones I didn't think that that would even be on somebody's radar like so much. I mean, I don't know, for me, I guess I've just had it for so long that I don't really even think about it anymore. I kind of even forget we have it sometimes. So I was like, oh, another person, like, oh, somebody else bought it, but it's at a good price. So, and 2, like that medium scoop is $19 right now. Post some pictures of some cookie sheets and, putting cookies, the medium size scoop is a really good, size for cookies. Like that one or the small scoop is what most people use for cookies anyway. To get that for cheap at this time of year, people are going to be starting to do their baking. So you've got those sales to leverage right now. Don't know if there'll be sales in December. The last couple of years they have done sales, but we won't know until December 1st if they're going to post, or I suppose later in the month they'll allude to that that there's something coming. So anything else you guys can think of? I think it's a fun time of year to get your friends together. You know, if you want to have an in-home party, you know, like I said, cookie exchange party, charcuterie parties. I mean, we've got that, you know, that beautiful dual-sided charcuterie board. Um, you could do something to do with like holiday baking. You could do something even with holiday like pies, different things like that. So, and that's another thing. I don't know if any of you guys have ventured into stuff like this, but workshops are becoming quite a big thing too. Hosting a workshop, you know, maybe like a pie workshop where they purchase the pie plate and the rolling pin or something, you know, like you can make like a package up. And if they purchase this, then you're going to give them this, this, and this, and you can go on Zoom and do it. Or you could literally do a workshop in person. I do freezer meal workshops quite frequently. But I also have done a air fryer workshop and I've done a deluxe multi-cooker workshop. So different things like that. And they, like I said, they can be done. I did some live, but then I did them on Zoom as well. So that's something that you guys can do too. And sometimes it might not even be something that you're requiring them to purchase something from, but sometimes it's just like, do it this month and maybe they'll want to book a party for next month because they want the air fryer, and do it kind of more as like a customer service and giving your customers something of value. So that's something that you can do too. And we should probably talk more about that kind of stuff because some people are doing some really cool things in the workshop department. Somebody's been doing, a bunch of people have been doing charcuterie board ones, but they've been doing them in the cool and serve platters. So then they buy the cool and serve, and I don't know, I don't know exact all the details, but then they're leaving with like the board, it filled with all of the goodies, salamis and cheeses and crackers and stuff, and they're taking it home in a cool and serve that they purchased from there. So it's kind of cool, kind of a cool little thing. So anybody else? Otherwise, I'll get you guys off of here. Hopefully that'll kind of help you kind of think about what you want to accomplish by the end of the year and what you want your January, you know, when you're bridging into the new year like that, what your January is going to look like. I know we probably talked about that a lot with what we wanted our September to look like. And now we're talking about January already. I cannot believe that it's going to be 2025. Crazy. I think for me, my year was such a blur with my mom. So it was like, I can't believe it's November already. Anybody else have anything they want to add or have any questions before I let you off?
At one of the things that we had at your house one time, you were thinking about doing like a demo, like a freezer workshop thing,
Yes,
so we know how to do that.
Yes, we can still plan on something like that for the new year. We'll for sure plan on something like that. I'm
That'd be
in the
awesome.
process right now. The room that I use for my workshops, the location that I used to store all my stuff, she rented. So now I thought I was gonna have to like give up using that place altogether, but she's allowing me, I'm going to buy a cabinet, a locking cabinet, and she's going to let me keep all of my supplies in that room. So actually it's going to even be better because they're going to be all right in the room and I don't have to carry them across the hall now. She just told me she's got to start cleaning out the room next week. So I'm going to have to get the cabinet here. And then, so maybe like in January, you know, we can do that. So, freezer meal workshops, you guys, were like huge back in like, well, I mean, I've been doing them still, but since 2014 is when they kind of started. And there was a director in Ohio that created this entire like 17 different menus to do freezer meals from. And people would come to the workshop, they would bring their groceries, they would purchase a bundle, if you will, of pantry items that would be used in the meals. And they would leave the workshop with 10 meals that they could go home and put in their freezer. And I love them. And I think they're so awesome that I've continued to do them over the years. So I offer them several times a year. Sometimes I even have people host them. So they they get their spices for free. They get, different things that they might want to make their meals in. A lot of people are using, because they can be done in a crock pot, or they can be done in the deep covered baker. They can be done in the rock crock and slow cooker stand, or I also have directions now to do them in the deluxe multi cooker. So you can do them in all those different of our products as well. And so I usually now, if a person is hosting it, we will plan the workshop date, and about 3 weeks before the workshop date, we do a virtual party. So people can buy their spices from the party, but then she can also invite other people too that may not want to participate in the workshop, and she just gets more host rewards that way. And then, but by doing it a few weeks in advance, everybody has their spices to bring to the workshop, and then they can do the workshop with me. So it works out really well. So I can show you that. There used to be home office provided us freezer meal recipes. I kind of stuck with the ones that I was familiar with, and even some of the spices have retired. And I've just kind of swapped them out for new ones, and kind of taken those recipes and just kind of made them my own that way with new spices. So I've been able to make it work still. So I've been even to add to them a little bit. I've been even like a couple of the recipes in the menus call for like Lipton onion soup mix, and I just sub out the French onion mix that we have now. So I've been able to even kind of do that. A little bit of substitutions that way too. So, but we can do it, and we'll decide, because I was going to do that, and that was the month my mom got sick. So and what we'll just have to do is we'll decide, like, if you want to do like a meal to take home yourself, or if we all want to do an entire workshop where you guys leave with 10 meals, or we could even bump it down to 5 meals so you can see the process and see how it works. I have done them in people's houses before. I think that's a lot of work though, and it's kind of messy at somebody's house, especially if you have like 8 people doing it and there's chicken being thrown all over the place. But you can do it that way. I just happen to have a location that I can do them at, and I think it works personally the best, but not everybody's going to have that. So sometimes you can do them at like a church. Some people might have places like that. We're just not, as consultants, in our consultant agreement, we are not allowed to charge for anything other than our products. So we cannot have like a fee, like to help you pay for the room. Like if you have to rent a room, we're not supposed to do that. I'm sure there's consultants that do, but I just always try to abide by that and only charge for the spices. So, but yeah, we can do that. And we can there was one too that we talked, remember Sarah, we were talking about it, that Erin Jensen did a cinnamon roll workshop. Like maybe we could do something closer, like in January leading up to like Valentine's Day, so people can have like cinnamon rolls to have on Valentine's Day morning or something, home prepped and stuff. But there's a lot of cool things that consultants are doing in the workshop, stuff like that. Anybody else heard anything else? Charcuterie boards is a huge one right now. I know people have done ones with like the snack bar maker. I don't think that one's really as popular for sure. But freezer meal workshops, I think they're awesome. As a matter of fact, I just used one last night. It was like, what are we going to make for dinner? And I'm like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I had a pork tenderloin in the freezer that was all prepped and ready to go. I just had to let it thaw out a little bit, and I put it in the air fryer. So it's nice to have that. Patty, did you ever do one? I'm trying to think. Did you ever do one? No, because April has done them with me before. April Brown has and stuff. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was
Yeah, I wanted to, I just didn't have the opportunity yet to do it. So.
Yeah. So we'll do it as a team. We'll do it as like a team night. And I still want to do pasta. I want to make the pasta. Try the pasta wheel. Or the pasta wheel, not the wheel. The you know what I'm talking about. The attachment. Get fake. Brandy's done it. It worked well. You liked it?
Yeah, I love it. It's so easy.
I know
I
you make
had
it
the
look easy.
last-
That's
Honestly, I was like dreading it, and then when I tried it, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then even to do like lasagna noodles, the next time I did a double batch so I could have like one for either spaghetti or fettuccine, and then I left another one for lasagna. And it was,
did you freeze the noodles then?
I did just the dough. I didn't like, I know some people freeze the noodles after they make them, they let them dry out. I haven't
Yeah.
tried that yet. I just froze the dough ball.
Okay.
I
Okay.
used like I did a double batch, so I used one now and then just froze the ball. And then you just have to let it sit in your fridge overnight or for like, I don't know, I think it's at 18
Okay.
hours, but I just let it sit in my fridge for overnight to thaw out. And then the next day I made the lasagna with it.
I know I want to do that. My family is pasta-aholics. So that would be, and I know it tastes so much better when it's fresh like that. You know, it does. So, and it cooks so fast. Like when you drop it in water, it cooks so fast when it's fresh like that. Like 3 minutes, you know, you put it in boiling water and it's done. So yeah, I don't know now if we're gonna be able to do that before I don't know, probably not before the holidays, but, and I am going to post this. We are going to do a holiday party on, I think I said December 11th. So that'll be our December team meeting will be Wednesday, December 11th at my house. So if you're local, you can come to my house and we do like a fun little holiday party and just kind of enjoy each other's company. And we should be able to announce the trip reveal that night too. So might be a little bit different. We're not quite sure yet if we're going to have a video to watch and stuff like that. I would think we would still, but they're doing it just a little bit different the way they're announcing it this year. So, but I still enjoy having a holiday party with you guys that are able to make it locally. We kind of, you know, do some fun little snacks and stuff like that and just have fun with each other. So, okay, how's that sound? Get into the holiday spirit. That will force me to get my house decorated for the holidays. So I'm excited
And we
though.
should decide if we want to do an ornament exchange.
Yes, ornament, or we've done gift cards before. We've done Christmas socks. Well, we've done lots of other things, haven't we? So yeah, we'll decide that when I'll decide that. And then when I put like the actual like invite out for it, I'll list it on there. So, and I apologize if you're not local. If you're on the call tonight and you're not local. No, I guess nobody isn't really, but, because I feel bad then that not everybody could come. That's the one thing about recruiting people from all over the United States. It kind of stinks that way. So, but okay, guys, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me kind of have to read things off of a script tonight and stuff, but that was what I could do. But I hope this helped. I hope this will help you give like a little bit of an idea to kind of give you something to look at and just kind of focus on. I think sometimes if it's just written down and in front of us, it's more in our face and we're more apt to, you know, we talk about that all the time about goals in a written format. You're 43% more likely to achieve them if they're written down. Okay. So put it on your fridge or in your office or something like that and keep looking at it and referring back to it. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Sorry I kept you a little over. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.